Okay, it is 3:41 in the morning, Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. I'm in my room. It is early morning. I haven't gone to sleep yet. And my behavior is becoming autonomous. I seem to be less and less in control of the things I do, the things I say, the things I eat, the momentum, the flow I'm leading is not rational. It is not rational. It's just flowing. I have so much less filter over what I say, even with people at work. They're asking me how I am, and I go directly into the deep. There's not even a hesitation anymore. I just say, hey, I'm feeling terrible. I ate too much. I'm going to the bathroom, this and that. The things I say, the things I do, this video that I'm making, I'm intending on publishing it, and it's just the impulse is going in that direction. That is the impulse. What I still imagine before would have been filled with stumbles and steps and stumbles and hesitations and insecurities and not knowing if this would happen, if that would happen, if all these fears would happen. And these all seem to just somehow not be there anymore. All these safeguards I had built, fears along the way, imagining what ifs from other people, how other people would see me, what that would mean for my life, the consequences that it would have from me being too open, too raw, too vulnerable, too anything. They're just not there. And I have this image in my mind of what that feels like. I feel like an undirected fire hose that is on, and it's not really tethered to anywhere except a few corners, so that it's just like going in all directions, spraying this way, that way, that way, that way, that way, because the pressure is making it turn in all directions and it has no particular direction. That's how I feel right now. There's no particular direction that I want to take. This video is the one I'm taking right now, and that's how it feels. But just a few minutes ago, I was down in the kitchen and I was going in between foods with zero thought. I'm just floating in between the foods. I'm thinking, what is this? What is this? Why am I just floating in between foods? Why did I make myself a tea at 3:40 when I'm not hungry? I'm not thirsty. I'm not sleepy. Why am I not sleepy? It's 3:40 in the morning. I barely slept all day. I had work to do, work from home. I worked nothing. I go to the screen and I try to focus and I'm doing this stuff and there's no focus. There's no focus. I'm mentally repelled by all the work, and I just flow into something else. It's not a thought process. I'm just beginning to do some kind of work things, and then my mind just flows into my personal profile and just opens up whatever distraction it can to do something else. I just do the canonical set of tab browsers I open: Gmail, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram. What's the last one? YouTube, Gmail, sometimes calendar, sometimes maps, just seeing like what's there, just anything that keeps me distracted. Because I'm just like, I feel that work is like this thing I don't want to do, but then anything else is happening. But there's barely any rational thought in there. There's barely any rational thought in these words. These words are just coming out. Rational thought implies there are decisions. There's like junctions where there's like, oh, there's something to be thought out, something to be maximized, something to be optimized, to know what is the correct path to go decision tree wise. There's in this state there's no decision tree. There's just flow, and it feels a bit scary sometimes. I was down in the kitchen and I was trying to think and while I am looking for things in drawers and just grabbing and eating random dates while my water gets heated up so that I can put in the cacao with milk, dinkel milk, and just put it together all the while I see the dirty dish and I just store it because that's the thing to do. And there's no thought. There's no thought. There's no direction. It just feels like the anchors of energy in my life, not the anchors. Yeah, in some way the anchors, like the constant ties, energetical ties I had, many of them are just dissolving. And whereas before I had many of them that tied me up to having a certain shape, having a certain stability in some way in my life, I had a lot of them and they kept me kind of stable, and I even kind of like I assumed that they would be there for me to keep my balance. I feel I've been living like this for decades in a way that I depend on I depend on the obligations I had accepted, upon the habits on the restrictions, the constraints that I had learned, that society had shown me how to be. I was depending on them for balance. In a way, like all these strings that would like tie me together, like this string, like must be ashamed of my own sexuality. Okay, there's one. And then there's another that says, be very careful about not showing your vulnerability in full rawness to the world. Barely to anyone, but least of all to the world. Like these things, these repulsions I used to feel towards becoming a pariah, or of being rejected, or of not getting approval, of losing my credibility. Oh, such a big one that I talked about in another video. This fear of losing the credibility, these fears that I kept, that I knew that they were like kind of like sacred areas that I should never touch, which were related to my social reputation, to the approval others had of me, to the image that I evoked with other people. They had me. They kind of had me stuck into a subspace of all the possibilities that I could be. And recently I've been intentionally finding these ties and looking at them and feeling, do I want that there? Do I actually need that there to be there? Maybe not. What if I just like, fuck. Oh, do I need it? Can I move in that direction? Do I still need this? I don't think so. Well, are you sure? Does it look like anything left? Any energy here? No? Okay. Done. And then I have something less, then there's more freedom. There's more freedom in whatever axis in whatever direction I had tied myself up. But more freedom also means there's more, freedom, more dimensions to moving. So it feels to me like for a long time I was like stuck here, stuck there, in a bunch of places. Fuck. And that gave me a shape, and it gave me balance. I did not need to kind of like to activate my emotional muscles, my behavioral muscles, there was very little I actually needed to exercise constantly because the balance was given to me, the constraints. Now I'm releasing these constraints. It seems to me like before, in some way I imagined there were perhaps 8, 9 restrictions that I used to have, main ones that held me together. And now they're like, they're dissolving, and then I don't have this one anymore. Now I can move like this. Okay, no longer anymore. Now I can move like this. And then suddenly, like, oh, I don't need this to be tied down here. Oh, I can actually go like this. Okay, how did that feel? Now I can do this. Now I can do this. And then I get like, oh, there was another thing that pulled me over here to the bottom right. Bottom right is going to be in the bottom left on the screen. Maybe bottom left, and then like, and then my bottom right, bottom body, and then, and then oh, I can move here too. Oh, check it out. I can move here, and I can move this, and I can move, and then oh, maybe I can actually pull myself from the back here. Oh, I can now. I have all these dimensions of movement. Oh, cool! I can move in all these directions. And then recently it's been like, from these 9, I'm down to 3, 2, or 1 of them. Like very few. Very few things that still pull me, that still restrict me, things that apply a force on me. And the ones, the anchors of these that still remain are maybe, it feels like it's just 1 or 2. Hence the fire hose analogy that I was bringing up, because it feels like I'm moving in all directions, and it, like some kind of flow is making me go in whatever direction is going, but I'm still tied to something. The thing is like trying to, not trying, it's just flowing because there's a flow, and it's somehow like freed up relative to what it was before, but there's still something holding it out, and it seems like maybe it's trying to like identify the thing that is still holding me. What are the things? What is the thing now? What is the thing now? Food, fatness. Food and fatness are a thing. I'm eating. And not necessarily unhealthily. I've been trying to eat very, very strictly. Like, okay, I'm not gonna eat sugar. And actually, the impulse that brought me to talk about this specifically is probably related also to that tie that I still have. Food and fatness are related. There's this concept that I learned when I was very young, that fatness is disgusting. That is the concept that I learned, wordlessly perhaps, but it was always this like repulsion towards fatness that I perceived always when I was growing up, kindergarten. I saw fatter people, and I saw how they were repelled by many other people. I learned to repel it. I learned to be disgusted by it, and I believe I still am disgusted by it, the fatness itself, and also in combination afraid of me becoming fat. And yet that's probably my mind feeling that fear, or other parts of me. It's not my body. Or at least it's not the part of my body that just goes and grabs food. It's like trying to push me to the edge of this fear and say like, hey, are you really afraid of this? Is this where your energy is stored, keeping yourself constrained so that you do not become fat, so that you do not gain this attribute of fatness that you feel disgusted by. It's almost like it's pushing me in that direction. Like, look. Do you still feel disgusted? Do you still feel disgusted? And I have become a little fatter, I think, in these last few weeks. Certainly not not obesely so, I believe, but I just feel it's noteworthy. It's remarkable. It's a bit bizarre. That's one of the few directions that I feel like a little drawn towards, like food. But there's no reason to it. I'm not hungry. I'm barely. I could say I'm snacky, but only because it's the flow. It's like a lust for flavor. It's like a lust for flavor, for flavor and for ingestion, like it's a feeling. There's a feeling of wanting to complete. Like when you have a plate of food and it's not finished. If it's half finished, I have this impulse to finish it, also to complete it so that it's done. Like in cleanup mode, it's a mixture between cleanup mode and just finding food a bit compulsively. Strange. Because there's no thought. There's no thought about it. I just go. And it's very coordinated. It's not zombie-like, what was I doing? No. It's like, okay, I kind of want something, something warm to drink. Okay, is the water? Is the water here on? No. Okay, it's on. Okay, turn it on. Let's have enough water. Good now. Okay, where's the cacao? Okay, I want some cacao. Yeah, that feels good. How about some honey? Okay, honey. Then hot water is going to take maybe a minute and a half. What else can I do? Oh, the dishwasher is still like it's kind of an activity mania. There's kind of an activity mania there, but it's not. It's not sourced from my intent. I'm just. I feel like a fire hose spreading energy everywhere, like uncontrolled direction, just following the what's like erupting from me. That is stilling me. Some energy towards ingestion, consumption, fatness, greed of consumption, lust for completion, lust for satisfaction, something. I trust it. I trust the process. And just about a few minutes ago, when I was down in the kitchen, I came upon my reflection on a window. I surprised myself by my face, my body. I have a body. And when I look at it, when I looked at it, I feel an emptiness. Like I'm not there. Or whatever is there, there's an emptiness inside. It's not a emptiness to be lamented, to be mournful about, sad about. It's just an emptiness of motive. There's barely any motives left in me. There is this flow, this lust for food at times, this lust for sex at times. And many other past attractions are just not there anymore. There is space. And in this space is where I feel I'm just chaotically swirling around in firehouse. "22 minutes."